Hey, good morning, it's Owen Bigland. This is the Inside Edge video blog. I'm going to call this one red light, green light. And the red light meaning hold all action. I don't think we can do business together. The green light saying, sure, let's move forward with a meeting, a cup of coffee, and we'll explore this idea further. Now, every week or every month, let's say, I probably get anywhere from 10 to 20 phone calls or emails from potential clients. Some have been watching my video blogs for many years. Others have been referred to me from past clients, and they're calling me for a variety of reasons. Either they're thinking about selling their home, listing and selling their home, and want some more information on the timing and pricing and how we should go about doing it. Others are interested in maybe buying their first property or buying a principal residence or maybe even buying an investment property. So I have a number of questions that I would go through with this potential caller to determine if we've got a red light or a green light, if we can move forward, or if it's best for me to tell this person, I don't think we can do business right now, not based on your current criteria or what you want to do. If you change your mind and I would give them some suggestions on the way to do it correctly, then we can maybe do business down the road. So I thought this would be a good blog to do because I get, as I say, a lot of calls like this, and I'm always, if people know, I'm a big advocate in just buying and holding real estate. The best time to buy a principal residence was yesterday. The second best time is today. But there are lots of situations, people call me or email me, that I am telling them do not buy based on your current situation. It happens every week. So let's go through the red light ones first. These are the callers that come in, or the inquiries, or the people I meet that I politely suggest, I don't think there's any business for me right here, right now with you. I would strongly urge you either do A or B, or just completely abolish that idea. I don't think it's a good idea. So here they are. One of the ones I get a lot of, and I think a lot of this is the old fear of missing out, is I'll get people that will call me and say, oh, and I want to buy a pre-sale condo. Prices are crazy. I should have bought last year, but hey, I'm going to bite the bullet and buy one now at crazy high prices, of course, because remember, pre-sales, I don't think a lot of people realize you are paying an ultra premium for the luxury of a layaway plan, meaning that you buy it today, put down 5% and maybe another 5% next year, and don't have to close on it for another 2 or 3 years. So a lot of people will call me up and say, oh, my plan is I'm going to buy the pre-sale now, and I don't have to close on it in 3 years, but that's okay. I don't want to close on it. I'm going to sell it either before I close and flip it as an assignment, or I'm going to close on it and then sell it right away. And if I have to, maybe I'll keep it for a year, but I can't do much more than that on it. That would be a red light for me. I would tell them that your idea is fraught with many, many pitfalls. First off, you're paying a huge premium for the luxury of the pre-sale. Second thing is, anything can happen between now and 3 years from now. As a matter of fact, there's a pretty good likelihood that the price you pay today is going to, on a pre-sale, could be less, or after the commissions and everything else, about treading water, or about flat from what you pay today 3 years from now. So there's a good chance there's not going to be much money there to flip it and make any return on it. So I tell them, if you've been watching my blogs, I don't deal with speculators or flippers. I only deal with investors. So if you told me you want to buy the pre-sale today, you're going to close on it and live in it as a principal residence, get the principal residence exemption and the PTT discount, great. And you can comfortably afford it, and you've got a buffer for any interest rate hikes down the road, which are going to happen. Then we could move forward. But your strategy now is a flipper, a speculator. I don't work with those type of people. I'm sorry. There's a good chance you're going to get burnt on that deal, and it's worth less than what you paid for it today 3 years from now. If you wanted to buy it as an investment property, a pre-sale, and you were going to be a long-term investor, buy it, close on it. Who cares if the price is down $20,000 3 years from now? You're going to put a tenant in it and keep it for 10, 15, 25 years until that tenant pays off the mortgage. Then green light. We can work together. But you need that 8 to 10 year horizon minimum. Anyone that tells me anything less than that, it's a red light. I can't work with you. I won't work with you. you're setting yourself up there for a good chance of losing money on that. So the same thing would be a guy who calls me up and says, oh, I want to buy a Yaletown condo or a West End condo, but I only want to live in it for a couple of years, and then I'm looking to sell it and make a nice dollar because I've seen all my friends make all this money over the last 8 or 10 years. I want in on it as well. Again, if it's less than 8 to 10 years, I have to politely tell them I don't want to get involved in it, because you buy it today, you're paying, again, absolute peak price. You're paying the property transfer tax, your lawyer's fees. If you go to sell it 2 years from now, I'm going to take $15,000 to sell it. If there's any gain in it, you're going to pay capital gains on it, unless it's your principal residence. But again, it doesn't make a lot of sense. 2 years is not enough time. If you told me that, hey, I want to buy a principal residence and I'm going to keep it for 8 to 10 years, or if by chance I got transferred to Toronto or didn't want to live in it anymore, I've got a plan B and I can rent it just in case the market is down and let that market recover and then sell it. Then you've got a green light there from me. We can do work together. So essentially what it all comes down to is what I've been saying on this blog for 6 years. You need a long-term horizon when you buy real estate. 8 to 10 years minimum. As a matter of fact, I'm starting to push that more up to 10 years minimum with the crazy prices we've got going now. And I'm going to say 10 years minimum if you're buying a pre-sale today, because you're already paying a 20% premium for the luxury of buying that pre-sale as opposed to being able to buy tangible product today. So 10-year holding period on any pre-sales right now. That gives you enough time to ride out any short-term market fluctuations, which are as natural as a rainy spring day here in Vancouver. So those are the green light, red light situations that I get. The other ones would be when a guy tells me that he's gone to the bank, he can just barely qualify for $400,000 mortgage. He's putting 10% down or 12% down, which is what the bank is going to require. And he is putting every last dime into this place without leaving an emergency fund, a buffer for both repairs, special levies, and as well as these interest rate hikes that are starting now. If he says that, again, I would say, let's dial back the purchase price. Can we find you something that is suitable to you for $350 instead of $400, thus lowering your down payment and leaving you some money on the sideline? If he can't do that, then it's another red light. I don't want to get you into a position here where you've overextended yourself. And I know many people are doing that these days. None of my clients are, but there are clients that are overextending themselves, thinking these good times are going to go forever. The market can go nowhere but up, and interest rates are going to stay at 2.2% forever, and they're not. So that would be another red light situation where he's putting every last nickel in. If the guy tells me though that he's qualified for $400,000, he's putting 15 or 20% down, and he's also got 30 or 40K in the bank to cover any expenses or any mortgage rate hikes, then we've got a green light. We can move forward. Let's have a cup of coffee and take it from there. So hopefully that helps people on when to buy, when it makes sense, and when it doesn't. But it all comes down to your holding period. I know I sound like a broken record here. Real estate in Vancouver, or any city for that matter, is absolutely foolproof. It's foolproof. Even at today's crazy high prices, if you give it enough runway. It's as simple as that. You buy that $600,000 Yaletown condo that you could have bought 8 years ago for $400,000. But if you keep it, live in it, enjoy it as your principal residence for the next 25 years, or even put a tenant in it for the next 25 years, I can tell you, you will look back on it as one of the best investments you ever made. That's just the way real estate works, and some people just still don't get it. That real estate at the very least will increase, not in lockstep, but it will always keep pace with inflation. For the simple reason that everything goes up. The cost to build that condo, the wood, the brick, the concrete, the rebar, always continues to go up. Land is scarce. We're not building any more land, and populations keep growing. Thus, if you look at a 30 or 40-year price graph of Vancouver real estate, you will see that it's a nice ascending mountain with some peaks and valleys in between. There's always going to be short-term corrections. But buy it live in it, enjoy it, keep it, and don't worry about these day-to-day commentary on if the market's going to crash. I don't pay any attention to it, and I'm in real estate. Hope this helps. Green light, red light, when to buy, when to maybe hold off on your plans. As always, I'm Owen Bigland. If you haven't joined my YouTube channel yet, please subscribe. Also, got to throw it out, thanks for everyone who has bought my book Along for the Ride on Amazon. I've been on and off the top 10 or top 20 for business books for the last close to 2.5 months now. I've also gotten some amazing feedback from you guys that have really enjoyed the book. I got stopped in the street the other day picking up something to eat from a guy at Whole Foods that had bought my book and recognized me. And boy, it makes me feel good that I did this for people as a favor of all the people that helped me over the years. That's why I wrote it. And thanks for everyone who's bought it and enjoyed the read so far. I'm Owen Bigland. See you next week.